is Dr. Tiffany Lamont from Lamont Wellness, and today I'm going to show you how to make the foundation of the granola bars that we like to make in our family. These can actually be, all sorts of things can be added to it, different herbs and nuts and whatnot, but today I'm going to show you the base and then we'll talk later about some of the things you can put inside of it. This, I'm going to be making a 1.5 times the recipe. If you want to make a regular 8x8 pan, then just divide it by just 2/3 of the recipe. And for today, we're going to be using a 9x13 pan. So you're going to need either a really strong arm, because this is some work, or you're going to need a hand mixer. This one has 4.5 cups of not quick oats, rolled oats, regular oats, 1.5 cups of peanut butter, so 3/4 of a cup of honey, and a full cup of chocolate chips. Now these chocolate chips are really, really dark ones. You can use any ones that you want depending on the sweetness that you like. We feel like the honey is sweet enough. Rubber spatula. You're going to need a large mixing bowl, and this is a 9x13 pan, but if you're doing a smaller serving, like I said, the 2/3 serving, you're going to need an 8x8 pan. So the first stage is you're going to put all the oats, all the honey, and as a little side tip, this is a raw meal, so I really like to use raw honey in general for some of the additional medicinal properties. And so if you're not cooking it, you can continue to use raw honey. However, if you're ever going to do a dish with honey in it and you cook it, you sort of negate the benefits of the raw honey. Okay, there's our peanut butter out of my very cute little measuring cups that I like a lot. Other 1/2 cup of peanut butter. I want to call this a heaping 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Okay, and then next I'm going to mix it up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mix this all together. So now it's all well combined. So another little tip, this is actually being made today. Fine, just leave it. Another little tip, this is actually being made today for my son's football team. So I'm making this as their pre-game snack because it has a pretty good ratio of carbohydrate, protein, and fat, and it's fairly easy to digest. I'm responsible for that every game, and I've had a little survey of what they like the most, and they really like these. They call them s'more bars. I have no idea why. There's no marshmallows in them. They really like them. I don't think they have any idea that they're relatively healthy, which is perfect. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make we're going to be a total of 3 servings of this. So we'll be making 2 big pans of this. So the next part you're going to do is you're going to take half of this, divide it in half, and we're going to press it into the parchment paper of the pan and make the first layer. Uncooperative parchment paper. Shh, don't tell anyone that touched my counter. One of the parents are probably going to freak out now. Okay, so this is the hardest part of the bars. I suggest, we have these little like reusable stasher bags, and I like to use that. You can use another piece of parchment paper. If you want to, you could use single-use plastic baggies, but cringy, I don't like wasting those. But you're going to press this down hard. The more compact these are, the less they fall apart. I don't think anyone can take me seriously when I'm using this as a cook, but we're going to do it. So you can either use something like this, and we're going to push it down. We'll kind of spread it out. Okay, so these chocolate chips are so dark, they take a little bit longer to melt, so that took about 1.5 minutes, but I did it in 30 and 15-second intervals. The more milk chocolate you have, the quicker it will melt because the higher the fat content or the milk fat content, so keep that in mind. Also, my microwave is kind of wimpy. It just doesn't do that great a job. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to spread it out. Don't want to waste chocolate. So I'm a really messy cook, but I think that sometimes that makes it more authentic if it's not perfect. At least it makes me feel better about it. So now I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator or the freezer until it hardens a bit, and then we'll add the other layer. Now I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the different add-ins that you can do in these granola bars and some of the ones that my family really has liked. So the first thing is you can add some spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, or pumpkin pie spice is a really, really good one. A little bit of vanilla extract can be good. A little bit of orange extract is actually a really nice addition to the chocolate itself, kind of like an orange chocolate. And then as far as some other, I like dried fruit. My favorite in these is chopped up dried apricots. I think that's totally delicious, but you could use raisins, dates, any number of dried fruits, cranberries. Chop them up into small pieces and mix them into the granola bar themselves, or while the chocolate is still soft, sprinkle them into the chocolate, almost like a bark. And then the other thing that is a really nice addition is any sorts of nuts or seeds. This can also really up the nutrient profile. So I like to add hemp seeds, chia seeds, ground flax seeds, different kinds of nuts, chopped nuts such as cashews, macadamia nuts, pecans. We don't use walnuts or almonds because in my family one of my kids can't eat them, but those would be a really nice addition as well. Now we're going to take the remaining half and put it on top of and press it into the hardened chocolate if you see it's hardened. So at this point we've made 2 batches and then they've all been cut, and we like to cut them into maybe 2-inch squares. So this makes about, I think it's 5 by 5, so 25 servings in the larger pan. And then we have a second one here. And this will feed an entire football team before practice, or before a game rather. So thanks so much, and I hope that you find this helpful in making healthy, homemade, nutritious food.